Welcome to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. Welcome to the Blah 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 podcast. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody is well. Really appreciate everyone. Thank you. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I'm going to keep saying until I get there. Road to 800. I think we're at 766. So less than 40 from the 800 goal. And you know what I say? At 800, we're going to do a giveaway for my loyal viewers. So welcome everybody. If you have not already, hit that like, subscribe to this channel, and always leave me a comment if you're watching on the replay. I had to change my schedule today because I have something coming up in a little bit. So I'm only going to be on for like 20 or 30 minutes. But I definitely didn't want to neglect the podcast today. I wanted to talk about, this topic of, trust. I know how I was introduced to trust when I was younger. It was like you had to trust your relative and you had to trust, just like blindly trusting everybody. And trust is not something that you should just give out to everybody. You can't. That's how we get taken advantage of. That's how we get used. That's how we get manipulated. That's how we get involved in certain issues. We can't just trust everyone. And we definitely cannot believe everything that people say to us. I'm learning the older that I get, the more mature that I get. When somebody tells me something, especially if it's related to business or something like that, make sure you're doing your research. Research the person, find out their track record. What have they done to other people? What do other people have to say? And when it comes to your relatives, also go by the way that they treat you. Um, Nobody should get a pass to disrespect you. Nobody, absolutely nobody should get a pass to treat you in an inferior way. Nobody should be allowed to treat you like just anything, like anyone, like you're not a special person. Because I have had it from, my personal experience, people who are your relatives, and they will be so mean and manipulative and think that they can say anything to you and hurt your feelings. And then after they're rude to you, then they want to call you sensitive. That's something that I will never get. I will never understand that part. But somebody being rude is not an excuse to say that they're real. I hear people say that all the time. I'm just real. No, you're rude. And just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. There are some times where I want to say something to people, but I know that if they're not in a space to receive it, or if they're going through something, that's not the time to tell somebody something about themselves when they're struggling or going through a certain, hard time in their life. But getting back on topic, when I talk about, not believing in everybody, it's not that you don't want to believe in people. I genuinely am a person that like really loves, I really love people, and I will go out of my way to be supportive, be understanding of others, try my best to help other people, be supportive, all of those things. But it can't be just us as the only person to do something nice, to do something kind. You have to give back. You have to get back. You have to receive. And for so long with my relative, it was always me giving, giving, giving to my relatives or giving to my friends or giving to a job or giving in the relationship, and they don't have a track record of, number one, caring about how I feel. They'd rather me just keep doing for them and then burn out. Those are not people who care about you. Those are not people who believe in you, because a person who believes in you and really loves you will be willing to say, take a break. You know, are you doing okay? You seem stressed out. If you don't have people like that in your life, that they care about your well-being, that they haven't, done some kind things for you, don't do kind things for them. Respect goes both ways. It really does. And we have to be one to respect ourselves. Everybody is not going to automatically care for us and love us. And I know that it's harsh to probably say that, and maybe some people don't believe it, based on how their family is. Some people have wonderful relatives that are very supportive and kind and all of those things. I can't say that's the case for me. Everybody operates on, where they are in the space in their life. I have certain relatives that are supportive and do kind things for me, but I know that I have the ones that are the users. I know I have the ones that are manipulators, and they're dramatic, and they will keep taking and taking and using me until I had to put a stop to it. I had to put a stop to the ones that were kept doing wrong things, kept doing things that will hurt me, hurt my feelings, or hurt other people within the family. We have to be wise enough to say, like, this person does not really care about me, or this person doesn't care about the rest of the relatives or your children. Or if you're in a relationship and they keep doing things, they keep lying to you, or they're cheating on you, or they'll do things that is very unkind and manipulative to you. You don't have to keep taking it. I had to learn about self-worth. I had to learn that I don't deserve to just have anybody. I deserve to have somebody who will respect me, who will do something nice for me too, that will give back, that will be patient, that will be understanding and compassionate. See, love goes both ways. Love is an action word. It's something that people have to show. They have to prove it, and not just say it. Because people will say out of their mouth that they love you, but they use that word love as a blanket statement to get you to do whatever you want. Because when somebody tells you they love you, you're like, oh, I love you. Can you do this? It's like you don't even hear the end part of that. Can you do this? You only hear that they love you. So we really have to be open to the tactics of people who like to play a lot of mind games. And it hurt me for a long time. It hurt to know that there are some that just are out there and their motive is to hurt me. They really don't want to support me. They're not trying to do anything nice or kind or be understanding of me. Or they're ones that will take everything that you have. I mean, financially, they'll use you up mentally, they'll use you up physically. They'll just use you up. They'll take everything that you have as long as you let them. They'll keep going until you put an end to it. You have to say no to these individuals, and even your relative, even your children, even in a romantic relationship, with friends, in the workplace. You got to speak up for yourself. And there are some people that even when you speak up for yourself and you give boundaries and you tell people how you feel, they're not going to respect it, because they don't respect themselves. They're selfish and they only care about themselves. So those people, when they're like that and they're not willing to change, those are the people you have to cut yourself off from them. You have to. You have to cut yourself off from people who are users. It is no other choice. There's no other way. They're not going to make changes. And I hear all the time people will say once you are on that last, like on the last, like you're about to give up on that relationship and throw in the towel, this is when they try to pull out all the stops and say, I'll change, I'll do better, I'm sorry, and all of these things. But most of the time when people say that they're sorry, it's just they're sorry they got caught. They're sorry that they're going to lose you, or they're just a sorry individual. There's some who they have no confidence, they have no love or consideration for another people. They don't care about other people's feelings. They don't care about the promises they break. They don't care about being disloyal. They don't care about any of those things. So you're the one that has to speak up and fight for your own self. You got to protect your own self. You got to protect your own mindset. You got to do some things that shows that you love yourself. You have to make some really good decisions for yourself. And when we talk about love as an action word, it applies to ourselves too. We have to be the ones to constantly keep working on ourselves and doing what we need to do to prove, even to ourselves, prove to yourself that you're worth it. Prove to yourself that that you're a good person and you deserve certain things. You don't deserve to be a doormat to people. You don't deserve to just be called only when people need stuff from you. People also need to do something nice for you, be supportive of you. And with that, I also had to learn to start asking for help. And it's not everybody, it's people who, like, you can actually trust, people who will understand you. I definitely had to learn to work on asking for help so that I could fill up my cup. And when I have had enough, I have to be willing to say, I've had enough, I'm not doing anymore, and then actually follow through and do it. Most of the time, that's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing for us to follow through and to say, we've had enough. I'm not doing anymore. I'm not going to help them, or they will never change. It takes a lot of courage to walk away from people. It takes courage to end friendships and relationships that is toxic. Walk away from people that play mind games, or relationships that are dead. Um, it probably has always been dead, but we have to come to that realization after time. Even if people will warn us and tell us this person is no good and don't trust that person and they lie and they cheat and they're doing this to you, we don't always get it until we get it. I know I didn't get certain things until I wanted to get it, because I wanted a certain relationship to work out. I wanted to, because they said they were in love with me like I was. So we can't fall for the manipulation tactics. We can't fall for the drama, listen to the lies of other people, because just because a person says that they are one way, we can't believe that. We can't be gullible. Don't be gullible to other people and their drama. Don't be gullible to their lies and believe in every single word that people say. If somebody tells you something and it doesn't feel right, or when someone tells you something and then they try to backtrack and say, no, it wasn't that way, and it was that way, believe that. Believe in your gut instinct. Believe when something doesn't feel right, or when you feel like people are pulling a wool over your eye, people are playing games with your head or your heart, or people are just using you for your body, for money, for especially if you're a person who has a certain talent or something that other people readily go to you for. Don't sell yourself short. Don't give away things for people. And I especially cannot stand friends and family who always want to discount. They want to discount every single thing that you do. Oh, can you give that to me for free? Or can you charge me less because we are family or we're friends? Can I get a friend discount? No, don't discount your talents. If people really cared about you and supported you, they would be willing to not only pay you what you deserve, but also give you more. They'd be willing to support your gift, to support your talent, believe in you enough to to say that, to be supportive of you and to want you to win. A person who really cares about you wants you to win, and they'll do things that will be supportive of you winning. I had to learn that for myself. Not everybody that we care about cares about us. We will we will put so much into people, especially when it comes to our relative. We'll put in so much effort, so much energy, so much time, and at the end of the day, they don't care nothing about us. They care nothing about you. They're not trying to understand your situation. They're not trying to be supportive of you. They're not trying to give you any money. They don't want to give any of their time. When you have something that you need support in, they don't give you the support you need, the time you need, but you're steady giving of your time. You're giving of your energy. So we have to also, you know, come to that accountability that I am letting people use me. I'm letting people treat me in a way that I deserve better. And it means that we have to respect ourselves. We have to set boundaries. And yes, in setting those boundaries, people may walk away from us. People will stop liking us. Actually, people probably never liked you from the beginning, but it's when you first start realizing that the people that I thought cared about me actually don't. So get away from those people. I believe in blocking people. Block them. Stop talking to them. Stop telling them your business because they don't care anything about you, anyways. The majority of people that are in our life are not really there to be there for us. They're not really there because they want to be supportive of us, because they want to be understanding, because they want to do something to help us. They only are there because of what they're going to gain, what they're going to get back from us. So when you see that it's a using type of relationship, when you see that it's using people, the best thing that you can do is leave people alone, leave certain people alone, and especially our relative, especially children, or any relationship, anybody who just always wants to take from you, always wants you to do for them, but they never want to do for you. Stay away from those people. You have to. um it's also training people. We train people how we want to be treated. If we want to be treated good, we have to start treating ourselves good, and stop putting up with the foolishness and thinking that when people give you their leftover time that it's good enough. No. When you ask for, help or support, or you need certain things, look around and see who are the people who are supporting me in my hard times. Those are the people who really care about you. I learned that from experience. You find out who really cares about you, who really loves you, who are your real friends when you go through something. When you go through something, that's when you're going to understand everything. Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I couldn't get off the phone before then, but I just wanted to go back to this topic and say that we are the ones that have to believe in ourselves. There's nobody that can believe in us like we can. We can say we love ourselves all day long. We can say we support ourselves. We can say we're our own friend, but we have to do things that prove it to ourselves. Prove it to yourself that you love yourself. Prove it to yourself that you care about yourself, and show it by your actions, how you treat yourself. Don't let people that don't care about you, the people who don't like you. I had to learn to stop hanging around people that I knew didn't care anything about me. I had to leave those people alone. Leave them alone. If they don't want to be bothered with you, then don't bother with them. Leave them alone. And the people who don't want to support you, don't worry about them. You want support from people who actually really care about you. I had to learn that for myself. I wanted support from certain people in my life, certain relative. I wanted support from certain people that I actually love. But it was hard for me to swallow that pill that just because I love somebody doesn't mean they love me back. And just because we have the same blood, we are relatives, does not make us family. Family is who you make it. You choose to make people close to you as a family. You choose who you want to trust, because there are people, they will lie to your face. They will break your heart. They will do everything wrong to you. Good morning, Alvin. How are you doing? Welcome. They will do everything that they can. They will do everything that they can to break you. And it hurts so much when you have a relative that can be jealous of you. I never have understood that, but sometimes we have relatives that are jealous of us and they don't like us. And you're like, what is that? That doesn't make any sense. There's no reason for you to be jealous of me, but it happens every single day. Good morning, Miss Tracy. How are you doing? Welcome in. And I found that for myself. If you guys could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. Good morning, Tamika. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I had to learn that for myself, that I can't trust everybody. Just because I care for somebody or love them, it doesn't mean they love me back. I had to do that for myself. I had to go deep down in myself and say, you know, I care about this person. And yes, they are my relative. Yes, they are my friend. Yes, they're this person. Yes, I've known them for all these years. But just because you've known somebody for a long time, it doesn't mean that they treat us good. And I had to do that for myself. I had to start backing away from people who didn't prove that they love me. And they have to prove it to you. It can't always be you giving, 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 and they always keep taking, or they're always keep, trampling on your feelings. They never regard you. They never do anything kind to you. You have to back away from those people. And it hurts sometimes. I'm not going to even lie. When it's a relative, when it's a friend, when it's somebody you care about romantically. But if you see that people don't really care about you, and they lie to you, they're cheaters, they're manipulators, they play games with you, leave them alone. You leave them alone. You deserve way better than that. So don't settle for it. Don't settle for thinking you have to, be there for everybody. I had to start doing that for myself. I had to learn to start showing up for me. And it's going to make some people mad. Some people will be really pissed off when you start doing nice things for yourself. Like when they see, like, maybe before you weren't exercising, or maybe you were like getting your time for, your spirituality, your worship, or you're not prioritizing your mental health. Like, you're doing certain things for you. When people see that you start doing things for you, they will start to hate you, or they'll start pulling back from you, or they'll say, you think you're all that. All of that is just, they just want to to get you down and break you. Yes, Tamika, it is true. People only like you as long as they can use you. And we see things, and we know it. We know these people are using us. We know that they don't care about us, but we try to convince ourselves, or we try to push that down and say it's okay, or we justify and say that's my kid, that's my my spouse, that's my boyfriend or girlfriend, that's my baby father, that's this person or this person in my life, whoever they are, and keep giving people passes. Stop giving people passes to disrespect you. Yeah, and it hurts. It hurts when people don't treat you the way that you deserve. It hurts when people don't consider you. It hurts when people don't support you or check on you or anything like that. But you're the one that has to do that for yourself. Say, I deserve better than this. I deserve better than settling, you know? And you just got to leave certain people alone, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much you miss them. And I do. I miss certain people. And these are people that they're my blood relative, or they were a former friend of mine. But it's shown by the actions. And if people say they care about you, they love you, and all of these things, those are easy words to say. It's easy to come out of your mouth and to say you love somebody. But what are they doing to prove it? We can't believe everything that people will say to us, and especially the ones that we know that they're lying to us. Mm-mm. Leave them alone. Sometimes you got to give people some room to grow, some room to mature. And when you give them that space, maybe that you not being in their life will wake them up. Sometimes you got to pull the cord, pull the umbilical cord, pull the financial source, pull however it is that you're supporting them, taking care of their children, doing whatever, giving them money and giving them rides. You have to let people fly on their own, be independent on their own without you, because it's not worth your mental health. I was cracking up. Like, I literally was losing my mind behind being kind and being supportive and being the good person, or being the good Christian girl, right? And a lot of times we will think that spirituality means that we have to keep forgiving people. At a certain point, even if you look at God still, even when people do things, at a certain point, he has to say, you are not doing right. And he disciplines that person. He puts that person in their place. And we have to do the same thing. When people are using us, we have to discipline them. Sometimes put them on a timeout, sometimes just blocking them or walking away from them, because people won't change until you change. I had to come to that realization. I had to grow up and mature, that as long as you will be supporting them, or putting a blind eye, that you know what they're doing, but you act like you don't know. No, you can't act like you don't know. When you see somebody isn't treating you the way that you deserve, leave them alone. Maybe that is not the right person for you. Maybe they need to mature and grow up by you, but by you keep giving and doing for them, they will never learn. People will never learn to grow up if you keep doing things that will stop them, that is enabling them. I know I myself, my nieces and my nephews, I enabled them for a long time. I kept doing things for them. But when you don't let people grow up, when you don't make people bail themselves out of situations, you can't always be the one to say, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you. And it's in different ways. You could support people emotionally or mentally. You could support people spiritually. You can support people financially, but they have to also support themselves. They got to put in some work. They have to prove that they're making some changes, because if you're always keep doing for them, and they never do anything for themselves, or they keep making poor decisions, then that's not up to you. That's up to them now. Like, you got to draw a line in the sand and say, I tried my best to help you for this period of time. I can't help you no more. You're going to have to help yourself. You're going to have to do it and mean that. Sorry, guys, my allergies are bad today. You are the ones that have to help yourself. And yeah, and that's it's hard when it's your relative. It's hard when it's your family to cut people off, but you have to cut yourself off from people who don't care about you. It's hard to cut people off that you love, people that you've been in a relationship for a long time, or if you see that it's not going to get any better, it's not going to improve. Actually, sometimes certain relationships, it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. And people keep disrespecting you, using you, waste your time. They're rude to you. They don't care about your feelings. They're disrespectful. You're the one that has to speak up for yourself and choose to walk away from them. You got to walk away from people who don't care about themselves. If they don't care about you, they don't care about themselves. And I learned that too for myself. When I started learning to love myself, that's when all my relationships change. Your relationships aren't going to change. You're not going to get what you want out of your life until you make decisions to show people how you deserve to be treated. Because you can say all day long you don't like things, you don't want this and you don't want that, but if you keep putting up with it, if you keep being gullible, if you keep letting people use you, if you keep telling people you don't like stuff but you still let them do whatever they want or treat you any way they want, and they'll keep doing it. So got to draw a line in the sand. So yeah, guys, I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for your support. Sorry for the early live, but I had to, because I'm about to head out to my appointment. But I definitely didn't want to not do a live stream and a podcast today, because I'm going to keep my commitment to the Monday to Friday live stream, even if sometimes I have to go a little later, I have to go a little earlier. But yeah, keep your commitment to yourself. Love yourself every single day. Yeah, speak those words, right, Tamika? You got to keep a commitment to yourself, to love yourself, to be loyal to yourself, to encourage yourself to be positive. And there's certain people who are in our lives that will never appreciate us. They will never try to understand. They will never admit their wrongs. They will keep doing wrong. They will keep using you. They're never going to be loyal to you. They will always disrespect you until you cut them off. But you're the one that has to say when you have had enough. I know that's where I had to be. I had to be at that space where I said, it's enough. I'm not going to allow you to keep disrespecting me. And I cut them off and I block them, and I mean it. Until people grow up and learn how to treat you in the right way, they don't deserve to have you in their life. Okay. And that's it. Everything, period. Right. So respect yourself and love yourself. And I know that it's hard when it's family, it's friends, it's a relationship, and we want certain people and we love them, we care about them, but we got to care about ourselves too. You got to care about your own mental health and making sure you're okay and getting your rest and making sure you keep your finances up and doing what you need to do for yourself, because nobody at the end of the day is going to care about you like you care about yourself. So self-love, spread that out everywhere. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. I do these streams Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you guys on Monday for the next blah, blah, blah podcast. If you're new here, subscribe to this channel. Share this out on your social media platforms. I would really appreciate each and every one of you. And everybody, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend ahead. I hope you get to rest, do something fun, or whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you have planned. But take some time for you and take care of you, because you are valuable, special, and important. Thank you for tuning into the Marlene Saunders Show. And I'm out. See you guys on Monday. Bye-bye, guys.